It's rolling.
Lowest diagrams, take one, Mr. Nickel.
Right, great introduction. What we're going to learn about in this video, in this bit of teaching, is what Lewis diagrams are and why we bother drawing them. In the next video, we'll learn about actually how we use them to draw Lewis structures of molecules. So this is just about what a Lewis diagram is in general, so it should be short and sweet. Basically, a Lewis diagram is used so that we can look at the valence electrons of an atom. So the key thing we're looking at are the valence or outermost electrons. And they're actually really quite easy to draw, so long as you do actually know the electron configurations of your elements. But as well as that, you need to know sort of how many valence electrons something like copper would have. So the fact that copper can make a 2+ ion, you should know that that means it can lose 2 electrons, so it's got at least 2 valence electrons. So if we have a look at just sodium, for example, to start with. Sodium is number 11 on the periodic table, which means it's got 11 electrons. Those electrons are arranged 2 in the first energy level, the first shell as you might have called it last year, 8 in the next energy level, and then 1 in its final energy level. This 1 is what we call the valence electron, and in this case sodium will lose that electron to become the sodium ion. So its Lewis diagram is actually really, really simple. It's an Na for its symbol with a little dot or a cross next to it to show that 1 valence electron. Calcium, if we jump down a bit and across, calcium is 2, 8, 8, 2. So the valence electrons are just the last ones, the 2. So we ignore all these. They're not important for these diagrams. So for calcium, we do Ca, and we either put 2 next to each other, or what's often a lot easier to show the bonding with something like chlorine, is we put 1 on each side. Now notice I'm not putting them in the middle, I'm going 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom. That's just a habit I've got into because I know what's coming next for drawing molecules and for drawing ionic compounds. Right, so they're showing us our valence electrons. What they show as well is the bonding. So if we were to have chlorine coming along, so we'll do chlorine down here, which is 2, 8, 7, so it has 7 valence electrons, chlorine would look like this. I'm going to jump that one there. So I've got 7 around it. And what I normally do for building these diagrams is I do one on each side, and then I start pairing them up. The reason for that's not important, okay? But you will find it's easier for drawing your Lewis diagrams for things like oxygen and nitrogen. Now we can see here that there is a gap where I can put an 8th electron. And this one has got that electron potentially. So if I was to draw sodium chloride and do its Lewis structure, it would look like this, where the crosses show the electrons contributed by chlorine and the dot shows the electron contributed by sodium. You can see here you'd need 2 chlorines, you put 2 chlorines on calcium because it has 2 electrons that it can use to fill this valence shell. Right, so that's how we actually, this is what a Lewis diagram is. It's just something to show us the valence electrons for a particular atom. And then in the next video, I'm going to show you how we use those valence electrons to actually make molecules. The ionic ones are really easy. Okay, you just basically see it's got 2 electrons to give. This needs 1, so it can join to 2 chlorines to make 2 chlorides. Molecules are a bit harder, so we'll do those in the next video. Right, stop there.